guys, it's Erin, and I'm here with what I'm going to be doing as a Project Life Sunday. I've been doing it on my blog for a while, but I thought since I'm making all these videos and I was making this layout, I might as well go ahead and record it. So here I am. I showed you my photos, and I showed you the back side of this page protector, which was week 5. So this is week 6 that I'm working on, and I'm using several papers from the Sprinkled with Love collection by Allison Kraft for Webster's Pages. And I've had this for a little while, and I was thinking, I really should use it up, but I didn't want to do like a use it up kit with it. So I figure at least if I do it this way, I get several of the papers used up. And you can kind of see my process here as I cut down the papers. I decide where I want the papers, how I want my photos. I do go through my photos beforehand and pick out how many I want and what size I want them. It doesn't really take very long. I don't take a whole lot of photos during the week, and this week was actually really sparse of photos. But I ended up being able to fill at least the one page, which is all I do. I don't do a double page spread, I just do the one. And you see me trying to fit the two photos in the middle, or the two papers in the middle. They're not quite 3x4, they're just a little off, so I had to cut them down a bit. And then usually what I do is I plot out where I want the photos to go. So you see me cutting them down to size. I love that my Selphy does the Instagram photos perfectly in a 2x5 or 2.5 by 2.5. So that I get these nice little squares, and I can decide how I want them on the layout. And they look the best in those little 3x4 pockets. So, and I think that's how I want it. And I'm trying to decide on paper and how I want to embellish the paper. And I decided that I didn't really need 2 pictures of Gambit. There's a lot going on with Gambit this week, but I'm going to make a layout about it. So I didn't want to overload the Project Life with too many photos, and then what I do is I put my Project Life layouts in the same binder as I put my regular layouts. So you're going to see that photo like right next to it because it happened in the week. So I don't like to redo photos or anything like that. And then you saw me plot out how I wanted some of the embellishments, and then my process is I go pocket by pocket and design how I want the pockets to look. So it's kind of like having a mini layout or having a card. Since I'm so familiar with cards, this is pretty easy for me. And I'm using some of my new Queen & Company washi. You saw me take off the first part of the branding part. I guess that's what it is. And this one's by Doodlebug. And then this is that free one that I got from Queen & Company as well for buying so gosh darn much from them. So I'm just layering those up. I'm trying to use my washi a lot this year, and since I bought more at the Anaheim Expo, I really do need to use even more. So I like to include it in my Project Life a lot. And then you see this little stamp that I got from Gossamer Blue last year from their Life Pages kit. I'm going to do every single week this year because now I have it. I started doing it once I got it from Gossamer Blue, but last year it's only half this way. But I thought the consistency of this motif, the little circle saying the week and then this little stamp saying the date, I figured it would make the title pages look nice, and I wanted to use this bird paper somehow, so I thought, oh well, why not have the birds in the week. So you see me fussy cutting that. Always move the paper, not your scissors. Makes it go a lot faster. And I'm just going to glue that down. And these aren't final embellishments really. It's just basically a general embellishment stage, or like a general construction stage, and I don't think that like the washi is necessarily that much of an embellishment. It's more of a page design type thing. So then I'm going to go over to this side, and yes, I want that picture. You see me thinking a little bit. Yes, this is where I want Gambit's photo. And I thought, well, since I already cut into this paper, why not make a strip with this, with these birds? And there's not a whole lot of room to use this love paper, but it is orange, and I did like how it looked, so I go with that. And then I add more washi, because I like to make it as consistent as I possibly can. So I just kind of build off of the layer. And here I'm using a Scotch double stick tape. It is acid free and it's cheap, so that's nice. Especially for small photos like this, I don't like to use my big ATG tape too much. So I just get that at Target, and you know, it's pretty cheap. I'm not cutting out the journaling in the video except for two of the pages, two of the pockets, because it's all journaling and it's like 5 minutes of journaling, and you don't really need to see stuff that you can't even read. So here I'm just journaling about how Gambit had she had surgery to remove 6 of her teeth because she's an elderly cat and she has a stomach disorder, and it makes her throw up a lot, and it's kind of destroyed her teeth. So we had to have some of those removed, and she did her best to recover the whole week, and she was on soft food, and it was a whole big thing. So I just briefly described that because, like I said, I'm going to make it into a layout. I have more photos of her when she came home and stuff. And I want to include the note that we got from the doctor, that kind of stuff. And here I'm just building a small card. I couldn't decide how I wanted the photo to be placed because I liked being able to see all the washi and the little bits of it, but it doesn't all fit on such a small thing. And that's just a picture of me being goofy, and I'm saying art is messy, and I was in a goofy mood while I was doing the piece below, which you'll see. And I ended up with paint all over my face, my monitors, everywhere, because I was doing the splatter technique to get stars. And yeah, it went crazy. So I took a picture of my face with like little white dots all over it. So I thought that was funny. And for the next one, I'm going to do the other small photo with myself and Sirius. He likes to come up on my chair in my lap, and so I end up taking photos with him, and I made this photo my icon for a little while on Facebook because I thought it was funny, just me hiding behind his little face. His eyes are like wide and startled because as I was holding him and taking this photo, somebody walked by, and my desk is right in front of in our front yard. It looks out to the front yard, I mean. So he saw somebody walk by the house, and he was just like, he wasn't barking, but he was like alert as to what this person wanted to do. So I thought it was funny that he looked very alarmed sitting in my lap. So I thought I would include that in Project Life. It's not even a story that I need to tell. I mean, this card doesn't have any space to tell that story, but so I wouldn't make it a layout or anything, and that's why I really enjoy Project Life. Obviously I don't use any of the Becky Higgins Project Life branded stuff. I mean, the paper is all my stash, and the page protectors that I'm using are actually from Echo Park. They're Photo Freedom Echo Park page protectors, because I can get those for cheap at the expos. But I still call it Project Life because, number one, people search for help with Project Life, and that's the keyword or whatever. I don't like calling it pocket scrapbooking, but it still follows the concept of a weekly layout of random little photos that you're doing. And this is a photo from my video game that I made, and it's the contrast between the video game that came out 3 years ago that I created this character in, and then the Elder Scrolls Online that I created the same character in that came out last year. And they're set in different time periods, so I'm kind of contrasting not only the time and how old he would be, but how long he's been played, how long I actually sat there and played the video game. And I know it might seem silly to some people to include, photos of a video game and stuff like that in your Project Life, but, for one, we don't have kids, So, it's mostly just the fur kids, and I've already got photos of them, and I've got photos of myself, and Mike doesn't really take photos of himself. But, so there's that. But also, this video game is a large part of our life. I mean, even if you just look at this photo, this one character has been played for 357 hours at this point, and it's much longer now. But I mean, can you imagine like sitting there for that long playing that game? It's a large part of your life, and it's a game that we can play together. So it's something that Mike and I share. And I also have online friends that I can talk to, guildmates, through this game. So it's not a small thing for us. And so here I'm going to cut. As I write, just basically I was talking about the art piece that I did, the Victory or Avant-Garde, which is also related to the video game, but sorry. I forgot what I was trying to say. It's related to the video game, but it's nothing like, needing to have too much written about it. And after the cut, you can see that I also did, all the way on the right, another card. And that's just basically me going through Facebook and noting things that happened, like what we were watching, what we were doing, like The Walking Dead came back that week. I was listening to the Harry Potter audiobooks, and, just simple little notes about what's going on, and I try to include that every week. Nothing you would make a layout about, but interesting things to remember. And so you see me just embellishing with these, with extra wood veneer and stickers from the Allison Craft line, the Sprinkled with Love. The packet came with stickers, so I tried to include some of those. And so many enamel dots. I still can't get over enamel dots. I took out the jewels that I got, but I didn't really use any of them. I just ended up using dots. But I will try and get them on there at some point. And you see me cutting down this sticker, just so I can, using up little bits. That's what I like about Project Life, is it's little bits of things. So anyway, this is the whole layout, and I wanted to say thank you for watching. And I hope you enjoyed this, and I will try to end up filming more. We're obviously well ahead of of week 6, so I'm going to be doing a few more of these. Here's some close-ups, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.